Try me, you a foolio. I'm pulling car like Yu-Gi-Oh. Them back street boys getting too much money. I used to be broke, now I hit the club stun.
Hello everybody, this is Uncle Royale of Team Sithica. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my favorite archetype in the game, Battlin Boxer. This deck profile is a 41 card deck. Extra deck is 13. You can make some substitutions in the extra deck for the new Master Rule coming out. Basically, I'm going to be going over how to play this a little bit competitively. It's not to its full potential. Hopefully this year, Konami releases some support for this archetype. It's very lacking in support. You're going to have to go out of archetype a couple times. But yeah, let's get started.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, let's get started with the main deck. So, I'm running 3 copies of Blue Mountain Butter Spy. The effect of Blue Mountain Butter Spy is a little out of archetype support. Cannot be normal summoned or set. When you normal summon a warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot be used as synchro material. Next, I'm running 3 Battlin Boxer Veil. This can be a very big game changer. The effect is when you take battle damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, gain life points equal to the damage you took. So practically, you never want to summon this card in attack position. Always defense. The defense is 1800 and its attack is 0. Next up, 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Headgear. This is one of your main cards you want to normal summon. Let me read the effect real quick. When this card is normal summoned, you can send 1 Battlin Boxer monster from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, this attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle. Which leads to 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. Now you want to use Glassjaw's effect, his second effect, to search and send him to the graveyard. His effect is, when this card is targeted for an attack, destroy this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, except Battlin Boxer Glassjaw. Add that target to your hand. Next, Switch Hitter. Now, Switch Hitter, little mixed opinion about him. It's a very good card, but since Battlin Boxer does not have a lot of archetype support yet, his effect can sort of hit you in the rear. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. You cannot special summon any monsters during the turn you activate this effect, except Battlin Boxer monsters. So the turn that you use the effect, you can't special summon any monster besides Battlin Boxer monsters. Now, the extra deck is mostly out of archetype support, so not very. We'll get to the extra deck here in a minute, but not you. After you use his effect, it's going to be hard for you to make any moves that turn. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Counterpunch. Counterpunch's effect is, during the damage step of either player's turn, when a Battlin Boxer monster you control is attacking or being attacked, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. That monster gains 1000 attack until the end phase. You can only use the effect of Battlin Boxer Counterpunch once per turn. Next, a little bit more out of archetype support, Goblin Bird. This card's effect is, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your hand, then change this card to defense position. So basically, you can run that. When you normal summon the card, you can, all Battlin Boxer monsters are level 4 or lower. If you have another card, you can special summon. I mean, you can throw in Butter Spy and then get you. You get your Butter Spy. You can throw in any of the Battlin Boxer monsters from your hand. You can use as Xyz material. Next, for the hand traps, I'm running 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Next up, I'm running Battlin Boxer Shadow. And this card, I'm only running 1 of this card. It's a pretty good card. As most of us know, Battlin Boxer is an Xyz deck. So most of the effects of the Xyz monsters with the archetype name are able to detach materials from the card in order to gain attack or boost some kind of thing on the field. Well, you can only do that with some of the cards when the card is under attack. So this lets you, the effect of this card lets you manually detach once per turn. During your main phase, you can detach one Xyz material from a Battlin box or monster you control. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. So you can, you get another, you throw out, he gets put on the field, you get to detach, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Lastly, I'm running one Field Commander Roz. His effect is, when this card is normal or special summon, select one level 4 lower type monster from your deck, except Field Commander Roz, and place it on the top of your deck. Alright, next to the spells, I'm running 3 copies of Pot of Duality, 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Spirits. Now this effect is pretty, of this spell is pretty nice. Send the top card from your deck to the graveyard, then target one Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up defense position. You can only activate one Battlin Boxer Spirits per turn. Next, I'm running 2 copies of the Warrior Returning Alive, 1 Rhoda, 1 Monster Reborn, Action Magic Double Banking, Dark Hole, and Regeki. Obviously you can substitute a few of those cards out. Next, to traps, I'm running 2 archetype trap cards called Jolt Counter. During the battle phase, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a Battlin Boxer monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Magic Cylinder, 1 copy of Bye Bye Damage, 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole, and a Sakurasu Armor. Now let's get to the extra deck. So this deck, some of these cards can be substituted out with the new Master Roll. I have it a little weirdly. You can pull some of the extra monsters out, add a little bit more XZs, but this is a little link heavy. So I'm running 2 copies of Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze, 2 Decode Talker Extended, 1 Decode Talker, 1 Doolittle Chimera, and this card is very interesting actually. All fire monsters on the field gain 500 attack defense. Also, all water monsters on the field gain 400 attack defense. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can only use this effect to Doolittle Chimera once per turn. Next, for the XZ's monsters, I'm running 2 Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke. His effect is, if a Battlin Boxer monster you control will be destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can detach 1 XZ's material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. When a XZ's material is detached from this card gains 800 attack. So with Shadow, you can detach manually and he gains 800 attack, but you're also losing a chance to detach to stop one of your monsters from being destroyed. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Dark Rebellion XZ's Dragon, 1 copy of Star Cestus, and one of the biggest reasons I'm not playing the sister card, this card Comet Cestus, is because it's for a little bit slower gameplay, more fun to play gameplay. It's a lot slower paced. The effects are. The effects, they just don't run well with the deck, especially with a lot of out of archetype cards I have going on. Next, I'm running Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. And then lastly, Gemnite Pearl.
A few moments later.
Alright, let's start off with the test hand, guys. Test hand, test hand, test hand, test hand. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we start off with Goblinberg, Battlin Boxer Veil, Pot of Duality, Shadow, and Battlin Boxer Spirit. So let's get started off. So I'm going to normal summon Goblinberg. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from my hand. Then change this card to defense position. So I'm going to use his effect, and I'm going to change him to defense position, and I'm going to normal summon Battlin Boxer Veil. Then I'm going to activate Pot of Duality. Shoot, my bad. For Roz. I only had a Monster Reborn and a Sacrifice 2 armor in there. I'm trying to use the summon first turn. So basically, I'm going to XZ summon off Veil and Goblinberg for Lead Yoke. Then, material. Then I'm going to use Shadow's effect. During your main phase, you can detach one XZ's material from a Battlin box or monster you control. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand. So, detach one. Lead Yoke gains 800 attack, so now he's at 3,000 attack.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. I know the deck's not that competitive, as you can see from the test hand. And that was just one. I plan on doing a couple more renovations to this deck, adding a couple, cutting a couple. Any suggestions? I mean, open to any criticism in the comments. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe.